Welcome back to the Chosen Chains podcast, episode 5. I'm Josh, here with my brother Rob.
Today we're going to dive in and talk about something that we all deal with, and that's adversity. How to deal with it, how to go through it, and our experiences. So let's get on it. Let's get at it. So Josh, we'll start on your side. What does adversity look like for you?
Adversity looks like to me, it's going to be everything's going well. In that moment, it takes a left turn. Mm-hmm. How are you going to sit in that, and how are you going to bounce back from that? Because let's face it, if we could choose how our life went, it would always be perfect, right? It would always be straight. Our plan is our way. But whenever it goes left, what are you going to do to correct it?
How do you figure it out? Kind of.
How do you bounce back? How do you sit within that moment? And what does that moment look like for you? Yeah,
I think adversity for me, I'm a very planned out person. I like to have goals, a plan, and lay everything out. And when I deal with adversity the most is I feel like when I have a good plan, I feel like I'm doing the right things. I feel like I'm a good person. I have a plan. I have things set in place. And then something doesn't work out the way I planned it to, whether it's a relationship with someone in business, if it's someone that works for me, I work with, just things in life. Like I have it all set up to be successful, and then something goes the wrong way. And for me personally, I don't like to show a lot of vulnerability. I don't really want people to know that things get to me. It does get to me and it bothers me, but I don't want that person to know that the action that they caused made me feel some type of way.
You got under your skin.
Maybe a little bit of pride, right? A little bit of pride in there, but not everybody deserves to know how you feel about it versus how are you going to deal with the problem and overcome and continue that plan or that process that you had in mind in the first place.
No, I definitely see that because like you said, not everyone gets to have that opportunity to see that side of you. You know what I mean? I would imagine there's probably 5 people in my life that get to see that, right? It's like, and I think for me, adversity, like you talking about situation lately, has been like the promises to myself, right? Like I've been on the bike for like 3 weeks straight now.
Let's go.
And now that I've been really like, I made that commitment, I made that promise to myself. I have everything planned out, and when it just doesn't go that way, like I get irritated, you know what I mean? I get pissed off, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I have my moment, I have my 10, 15 minutes. When else can I get on the bike?
Do you feel like adversity is harder when you're doing the right things or when you have something that you're hiding, that you know you're doing wrong, and you're like, well, this probably happened to me because I'm not living the right way in this sense of form? Do you think it's more when is it more questionable for you? And then I'll give you my take on it.
I think whenever you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because you already know you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You already know, like you're kind of expecting it, right? You're kind of like, how would I put it? You're kind of hiding stuff. You're kind of like, you're living with eyes behind your head. So you know something's going to happen. You know karma's going to come back around.
For sure.
But when you're doing the right thing and you're really trying to be within your faith, you're really trying to do the right thing, get healthier, you're really trying to work on your marriage, you know what I mean? All these things. And when it just, the brakes are halted, I feel like that's like the worst, because it's like, come on, like I'm doing the right things. Like I'm changing, I'm doing what I need to do. Like,
yeah. No, and not to fast forward too much, and I'll give my input on it, but I think when things are going bad, we are, like for me, when I've had, life was good, work was good. I'm always been a hustler, but there was things I wasn't doing right in my life, and I would deal with some adversity, and I would tell myself like, well, that's the karma I get. Like, yes, I'm going to figure it out. Yes, I'm going to pivot and get through it. But the reason God's not blessing me with what I'm asking for is because I'm not living the right way. So it was an easy conversation that I was having with myself because I understood that the bad was outweighing the good that I was asking for. You switch it up to now, I'm not perfect by any means, but I've corrected a lot of things in my life that I was doing. I'm not drinking much anymore. We've been walking every single day, me and my guys, 5 miles a day, working out, eating better, to stay more in the Word. Like, I feel like I've been living the right way, the godly way. I'm not perfect. I'm not better than anybody, but the adversity that I'm dealing with now is I feel like there are people who are looking at what I'm doing and just wondering if it's a fraud, if it's authentic, people that are questioning if I'm focused on one specific thing or is it everything? I had somebody ask me, like, is it the podcast? Are you creating t-shirts? Are you worried about your business? Is it just vacations? And I'm like, I'm building a brand based off of who we all are. The One GM is a brand on anybody can represent for anyone. It's change. It's generational curse breaking. It's not meant to be just a monetary thing. Like I buy hats and shirts and give away all the time because I want more to spread the word out versus I do want to make money on every little thing that I do. I don't have 5 businesses. Like we do one thing, and the podcast we pay out of our own pocket. The walking is free. The eating in shape. I'm not going to be in any contest. I'm not trying to be the fittest guy in New Mexico. I'm just trying to be the fittest person that I need to be for my wife, for my kids, for the example that I'm trying to set for my people. And I guess the part that I'm getting to is the adversity is I feel misunderstood. And I feel like you talked about me when I did bad. Now that I'm doing good, you just don't want to say anything.
You're questioning.
At least talk about me good. At least, hey, you know what? I can say whatever you want about me. At least finish off by saying, at least he's doing his thing.
This is a good guy.
At least he's doing his thing. If that's not how you feel, get a chance to know me.
Yeah.
They reintroduce myself, right?
I definitely, I mean, I guess I have a different take on it, because I'm sure people are like, oh my God, this guy had the clothing brand store is gone. Now he's working here. Now he's printing shirts. He's doing this. Oh, now he started a podcast. And me personally, I really don't care. Like I could care less what people think. And I think I've just learned to be within myself.
Yeah.
Where you can question all you want, but at the end of the day, you come walk a mile in my shoes.
Cool, and I'm glad that you can be that because I'm going to be vulnerable and be opposite and say that I do care what people think. I'm going to let you know that it does affect me when people talk about me or people have a certain opinion about me from a past situation that has happened. It does bother me because I do pride myself in being a good person. And I do want people to understand that change is possible. So I wish I could say it doesn't matter, but it does matter.
Well, I think, I mean, obviously there's context behind it. You know, like if I'm doing someone dirty, then of course, like you could think of me all you want.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing the right thing and I'm walking within the right place and the people who I care about and the people who are in my circle, as long as they know I'm a great guy or if you know what I mean? And they can hold weight on my name inside of a closed room. Well, you know what? Josh is a good guy. How does Josh do it? How does Josh do it with 5 kids, a wife, you know what I mean? A job, 2 side businesses, a podcast now. Like
I still don't know how you do it.
You just don't know.
You just do it.
You just do it. That's the thing about it, though. Like And honestly, I never thought I'd have 5 kids. You talk about adversity within itself,
right? And what I want to lead into the next segment is adversity. We talked about it as how people think adversity is. What I want to pivot to is how is adversity when your faith is strengthened. And now I'm going to dive into that because I feel like now that we hit that moment where I'm doing things right, I'm living right, I'm eating right, I'm treating my wife right, I'm doing good on my kids, my friends, everything is going great for me. Something happens. 2 things you can do. You can blame, you can blame God or you can blame whoever you want, or you can say, listen, my faith is so strong right now that I understand, God, you're doing whatever is happening, you've already planned for me. So I'm not going against, it's not my plan. It's not my life. It's the life you've already had set for me. I'm just going through the trials and tribulations that you've already put in place for me to overcome. Now that I've done that, when people come in my life and come and go, I'm like, oh, you were meant to be in my life. Like God knew you weren't good for me and removed you. Even though I wanted you in my life and I tried to keep you in my life, God knew you didn't belong in my life. And I think you can face adversity by strengthening your faith and using God's judgment and how he would think about it versus how it hurts your emotions and your feelings. For sure. And that's kind of why I didn't talk about the faith part of it at the beginning, because I wanted to kind of put in that filler of here's how you solve it. I
think I'm super big on, I mean, if like not everyone belongs in your life, clearly, you know what I mean? But the way I see it is they're not all bad things. Like yes, it may have ended terrible, but there's always something like that person that came across your life, whether it's the person at Starbucks, someone in your family or something, they came across in your life for a reason. There was a lesson there for you to take, whether you took it or not, you know, and maybe that lesson may come back in your head 2 weeks later. Oh, that's what that seed that was planting. Now I understand it. So regardless of whoever's done bad, done good in my life, like, you are in my life for a reason. We crossed paths for some reason. God wanted me to know you, and there's a lesson there. Now, whenever we talk about faith and we talk about adversity through faith, I feel like anytime he gives you adversity, it's a test to go to the next, to go to like your next chapter in life, right? Like, okay, everything, like, I've let you walk your path. Everything's been great. Are you gonna, now that I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, are you gonna revert back to what you were, or are you gonna actually trust me? And are you gonna actually take the things I've taught you over the last 6 months and continue to grow? If not, if you're gonna revert back, he's gonna let you go back, and then you're gonna face that you're gonna face that problem again.
And I think the way people talk about other people, or they analyze other people's lives based on how their life is going. So in the adversity side of it, if they think, okay, what's this guy doing? Like, he's doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. He's making us want to believe all the right things. What is he really doing? Because I know my life. I'm hiding my addiction to alcohol. So I'll bet you he's dealing with something similar. And instead of being in a place where they can help somebody else, or they can reach out to that person like, hey man, how are you doing what you're doing? Because I've seen you change, drastically in the last 6 months to a year, whatever they want to say. How can I implement that in my life and be a better person? Instead, it's, what is he really doing? Because I know how my life is going, and I'm going to compare that. We're all going to the same thing. Like, all the statements that people say, it is what it is. Shit happens. We all go through tough things, or tough times don't last. Tough people do. Okay. To a point that you might be bringing all of this upon yourself before you even understand that you're the problem. If you're having friend problems and you're saying, I don't have any good friends, I can't find people, that no one's like me. Well, what's the friend you're trying to be to attract the friends that you want?
Let's also look at the common denominator. If you have an issue with everyone, and you're the one person standing, like, you kind of got like, and I think that's the hardest thing, right? Is to look in the mirror and to be like, God, you're just like, you like, as much as you don't want to be real with yourself, I feel like there's a point in your time in your life where you have to look in the mirror and be like, I'm the problem. Oh man. And not only am I the problem, but I'm the only one that can fix this. I got to pull myself out of this.
And you're the solution.
That's it. Are you going to bite down? Or are you going to play the poor me victim game and just be like, well, no one likes me, no one loves me? Like, no, stop. Like, you move your life however you want your life to go. If you don't, like, you know what I mean? So, like, you take your life as far as you want to take it. And I feel like all of us are a test to that. Yeah. Because we can all have a closed mind mentality, or we can strive for them, shoot for the stars and land on the moon.
And anyone who's listening and who's been listening to our podcast, they are already that 1% that wants change in their life, because they understand by listening to what we're going through and we talk about, it's a stuff that no one wants to talk about. So by us bringing it to your attention, putting it out there so you can hear it, the hopes isn't that you have an opinion about us. The hopes is that you look in the mirror and you change something about yourself, is that you say, you know what, after hearing the podcast today about change and adversity, I'm going to take the first steps and I'm going to look in the mirror. What am I doing wrong? What are the mistakes that I'm doing? How can I fix my life to be better for my situation, for my family, not for anybody else? And
for me.
And that's what I love about this platform, is it's not meant for us. It's meant for you guys, the audience. It's meant for you guys to actually write it down, face the problems. Where we're coming up on the end of the year, the beginning of the year. We have 2 months until the 1st. Are you prepared for a new year? Is it new year, new me, or is it new year, same you? And a lot of those come and go. The resolutions, that it's It's a hopes. I hope I get it.
It's a revolving door.
Yeah, I hope this year's better for me. Why don't you make it better? Why don't you start reading? Why don't you, crack open?
Well, a lot of people don't want to sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like that's the difference between someone that is successful, whether it's money, it's spiritually, it's in their marriage, it's, you know what I mean, as a father or within themselves. Like they've sacrificed something along the way, and sacrifice is probably the hardest thing, because who really wants to sacrifice more time with their kids or more time with their spouse, or, you know what I mean? Like,
I think they're willing to sacrifice if they know the outcome, but you have to sacrifice knowing that nothing is guaranteed. You go home every day and tell your wife how much you love her and I appreciate you so much. Now you're going to have an expectation that she gives you something in return. And then if it doesn't happen, well, I made all these changes for you. I've told you I loved you. I put the dishes away.
I bought you some flowers.
And you're still not spending time with me. We're still not doing what my expectations are. Because you said, you thought because you changed, she all of a sudden has to adapt and change with you when
or change the way you want.
I mean, it's going to take if you change in front of your spouse, it's going to take them some time. One, the number one, they're going to doubt you. This ain't the Rob I know. This ain't the Josh I know. Second phase is he really doing it for the right reason? Is it for everyone else, or is it really for me genuinely? And then you go to the part that, okay, he's really doing this. He's really changed his life around. Now they're invested in you. And that might look like 6 months or a year. They might have to see, my wife might have, or
longer.
Is he really faithful like he said he's going to be? She has every right to doubt me, because I went ahead and broke that trust. Mm-hmm. Well, it could take as long as it needs to. I'm willing to understand that I have to be constant with my words and show her the loyalty that I'm going to provide, because I've already broken that bond, but it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. And that's where I think people with the adversity and sacrifice is, if they don't know how long it's going to be to the resolution, or if it's really going to pay off, are they willing to actually put in the time? Because it might look like time wasted.
Well, I think, okay, so let's go back to the message at church this weekend, right? When you talked about it, like he talked about, it's going to happen. Like he promises you it's going to happen, right?
Right.
It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week, or it could happen in 25 years. Right. But are you going to stay loyal? And are you going to stay down on all 10 toes and really be like, all right, like, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's coming. He told me it's coming. I spoke it. I asked him for this, and he's going to give me what I asked for. But at that moment, is it going to be, it's not going to, 9 times out of 10, it's not the time you want it to be.
Never, yeah.
But I think that goes to it, right? Whenever you're sacrificing, whenever you have a new vision of changing, whenever you have a new vision of becoming an entrepreneur or mending a relationship or whatever it is, right? Whenever you put that out there and you have the great intentions, just know, like, one, you're going to have to put in the work. Nothing's going to happen without you putting in the work and you showing change. But you also have to stay like 10 toes down as much as possible, because that forgiveness, maybe it will come, but it may come, she may forget about it next week, or he may forget about it in a week, or it may take 20 years. Like that's just like at the end of the day, you also got to sit in it, and you also have to understand, like, I want change, and it starts with me. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand, right? It starts with you.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean,
and you got to be vulnerable, and you got to be able to seek help. I think a lot of people have egos. Yeah, there's a reason why, hey, Rob, you're successful in this aspect. What are you doing? They don't do that. Rob, they're at this, that. You know what I mean? Like, because egos are killed. Like,
you know what's funny lately is I've been getting a lot of messages from friends and people I know, like, hey man, when's a good time you and I could sit down, have lunch and talk? And I'm like, okay, like, what's up? What do you want to talk about? It's like, well, I don't know. I just want to, stuff going on in my life. I want to know, how are you doing everything you're doing? And like, I get it. They're looking for probably motivation, maybe perspective of it. Now,
they probably value your opinion,
which is great, right? And I love it, and I am always willing. And whether it's a stranger or a friend, if we're close or not, I have no problem communicating, talking to somebody. But when you ask for someone's time to sit there and talk to you, what you also got to understand is that you're taking them away from their purpose in order to fulfill your own. So the way I've been approaching these situations, I'm okay, when I have time on this certain day, let's meet up and let's talk. And I already know that none of it is going to benefit me in a sense of it's not going to further me on. I'm actually going backwards to show them the pivot and change that I made in order to help them just understand what I'm doing. And I'm okay with that. But this platform of the podcast, I actually did this to avoid losing as much time throughout the week with multiple people versus them listening to the podcast, getting my point of view. You basically have me for an hour and you get to talk to me and hear, yes, you can't talk back. But when you listen to a mentor, and not that I'm a mentor, but you listen to someone that you want advice from, you're supposed to listen and not speak. This podcast is doing that for some people. It's giving me the ability, us the ability to outreach to them without knowing me, without having a relationship with me. And I can come inside, insert your life immediately and tell you what worked for me to better my life and to change and how you can apply that to your life. I read a lot of books. I read the Bible. I take advice from great men. I have great spiritual leaders. I have great entrepreneur friends. I have some phenomenal people in my life, and anything that I learned from them, I'm going to share with you guys because you can have the shortcut that I had. I had to see the stove was hot. I had to touch it to make sure before I understood it was hot. You guys don't have to do that.
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm the same way.
I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn as they come. For you guys,
I'm going to put my hand there too.
You can listen to the podcast, get off the podcast, immediately search a book that can help you. If it's a marriage book, relationship book, search a marriage book. If it's a business book, okay, I'm going to self-development. If it's a Bible, I'm going to go to the Proverbs that they're on today, and I'm going to read on my own and find what's suiting my life and what's relatable to me. So this is what I'm doing this for. So I know the people that have asked me haven't spent the time to listen to the podcast, but they want my one-on-one time. But I'm giving you one-on-one time and you're still not taking it.
I'll tell you what, let's figure out who's really listening to this podcast. You message the page and you put some questions you want us to ask and we will answer them on the next
sure.
episode. Let us do that. We'll find out who really listens to the pod.
Yeah.
And who really is trying to get something out of it. And and again, don't think we have this figured out. Like, that's not why we made this platform. We don't have everything figured out, but we are learning and we are growing at the same time. So don't, I mean, my advice is what I think. Rob's advice is his advice. Like, again, we don't have life figured out at all. We're here to talk about it and we're able to talk about it. So I just want to get that off.
It's a good point. I mean, it feels good to show vulnerability to the audience and let them know that the reason that we're on this side of the mic and they're on that side of the speaker is because we're willing to put it out there, put the time and the effort into getting this information out with the hopes that they change their life. So then we can collab on a podcast or see someone else start up a podcast. So you know what? If I did mine, I would do this better. I would talk about this. Well, you know what? You have that ability to do that.
It's 2025.
Go ahead, get it done, make it happen. Make it happen. Speak your mind. Tell us how to get rich. Tell us how to have a perfect relationship. I would love to hear someone's podcast on the shortcuts of everything and how to perfect it. For me, I'm just telling you my mess ups and how I've fixed them so you can see where I'm at now and take the notes that I'm teaching you with this mindset and this faith-based heart versus anything I've done in the past. So I'm just here to help and be a disciple as much as I can.
I'm the same way. However I can, just help someone that's going through the thick, let them know that tomorrow's a new day. Every moment's a new moment. Live your moment. Be in it for however long you need to, but don't let it control you. And I feel like that's another thing. People allow their emotions to take control over them. And if that's one thing I've grown in since 2025, that's probably the best thing, where it's like, all right, I have my moment. What are we going to do now? Is there a time in your life, and I know it kind of happens, it happens a lot. Do you feel like the moment you have control, there's a reminder to let you know you are not in control of your life?
Oh, yeah. Let me see, an actual moment.
And are you receptive to it? Maybe now, or was Rob 2-3 years ago not receptive to it? Like, do you see the change within yourself whenever those moments come? Maybe you don't have to give me a moment, or if you want to give a moment.
Yeah, no, So to answer the first part, is there a difference now? Yes, because instead of relying on my own instincts and my own like thoughts to be the decision maker, I've understood that I seek out good opinions from close people around me, or I pray to God about the solution that might come from it. But for me, the things that are out of my control, I'll give you an example. Like my daughter's 13 years old. She's in the teenager stage. She's homeschooled, and unfortunately, there's sometimes she deals with kids her age just not treating her as respectful as she treats them. And there was an instance that these girls were just being mean girls to her, man, just telling her bad things. And I was all coming from jealousy. They like the life she has, whatever that looks like to them and what that means to them. They want the life she has, whether it's clothes, whether it's she's prettier, whatever they think about it, they build up this thought in their head. So the way that they equalize it is they treat her bad, and she's already homeschooled. She doesn't have tons of friends. So she's relying on these friendships in other places to kind of get her socializing in. And what really bugged me is I saw how it affected her. I saw her cry about it, and I didn't feel like I could do anything. What am I going to do? Talk to 13-year-old girls and, hey, you little shits, if you don't treat my daughter right, like, who's your dad? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And one of them, I knew the dad, and I wanted to say like, hey man, like you should tell your daughter to be a better role model and example. But I'm like,
that's such hard.
It is. And that was as of recent in the last year, something that I've struggled with, because I have no control of how people treat my kids, how kids treat my kids. I have no control. If someone disrespects my wife and I'm not there to protect her, I have no control over it. And those are the things that I think I struggle with, because I know that our family is tight. I know that we all think like-minded, but I'm the one who normally takes the brush of the criticism. I'm the one who's like, you know what? Stab me, don't stab them. I'll protect them.
Put the shield out first.
Say whatever you want to me. I can handle anything.
Yeah.
But I don't like when they have to deal with it.
I don't like it. I mean, I don't think any parent likes it. But at the same time, I also do understand that my kids got to fight their own battles, unfortunately, right? Like, I'm there to guide them and support them in the back end, but I can't be like that parent that's like, hey, quit picking on my daughter. Hey, quit picking, because at the end of the day, what is that? One, it teaches my kid nothing. Like, and it sucks that we had to grow up like that, right? Like, we had to grow up where we had to be stick up for ourselves. So it's like a battle for sure.
Yeah.
But I also know is whenever life gets hard, whenever they're an adult, I'm not always going to be there. I mean, there may be a time where I pass away.
Yeah.
And then what are they going to do? Their world's going to crumble in. And I've seen that with a family member. You know what I mean? Like, they were coddled their whole life. And then now that their parents aren't here, it's just they don't know what to do.
Maybe my fear is I don't want them to have to be as damaged as they need to be to learn from it. If I can help guide them through the way, yes, I understand they have to deal with the adversity on their own and they have to learn what it is. I'm probably the worst to them as far as telling them how it is in a nice way. Mm-hmm. I say things like, hey, have you taken your vitamins? Have you done your homework? Is your room clean? Like, I'm pressing them, like, oh, yeah. I'm general. Yeah. And, mom is the loving, Jesus pushing, like, she's our best friend. And I'm totally okay with that. I come in and I'm the discipline out of it. So I just want to make sure I'm the one who is teaching them discipline and not learning from other people around me that don't have the best intentions from. Now, if it's a friend or somebody in our life that I respect and I know wants better for them and they tell them something, I'm cool with that. Yeah. Because I know he's on my back. But these kids, man, and the way these kids treat each other because of the lack of their parents providing a life for them that they should have isn't fair. And that's what really gets me sometimes,
I know, I totally get where you're coming from. And again, when I'm talking about when I do things on the back end, it's more of like I talk to them like my daughter kind of had the same instance, right? Where there was some girls that were gonna whatever, jump her, whatever at school. And she was like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's her, well, because like, and now again, I had to break it down to her. Like, they want the life you have. That's jealous.
Whatever they think.
Yeah. And she's like, well, what's different about my life that's theirs? And I'm like, why? Because you're happy.
Yeah.
You're happy in life. You're smiling. You're glowing. Like, it doesn't have to come with materialistic things. You also have two parents in the household that love you. You carry yourself with respect. You're not just out here dressing however, wearing makeup and you know what I mean? Like all this and that. You walk within yourself and you're beautiful within yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like people are jealous of that. People are always going to hate you. People hated Jesus.
People still do.
They still do. But so I more so help my daughter on the back end where it's like help her understand that, right? Which was something I wish people taught me, like or had those conversations with me, instead of me like, oh, I'm not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the control when it happens to me, like trying to think of an instance that I don't control. Like, okay, like if someone says something about me, like, oh, I bet, he's not doing this correctly or whatever it is, or he wants to be like me, bro, that don't bother me because I know at the end of the day who I am. I don't have to compare myself to anybody. So for me, those are easy battles that I win because I'm built strong enough at 38 years old to look in the mirror and say, I'm capable of, and then I fill out the rest. I say the rest of what I know I am. My son is 7, my daughter's 13. They don't know their full capability yet. I'm slowly building them into understanding how much God loves them, how much skills and talented and how much they can achieve whatever they want. Like I don't push sports on my kids. I don't push anything that I liked on my kids to fulfill something that I didn't accomplish, or maybe I did. I know for me, football was amazing. So I'm not going to just make them do something that I liked just to think it's going to replicate itself and the success is going to happen from their life.
Well, but we also talked about you being in football was also, and the same thing with me, it was also like an escape.
It was, yeah.
It was something to get away from.
And my kids don't have to escape it.
No,
there's nothing, no chaos. Like we're not a perfect home, and we don't, but they don't have chaos at home. Whatever they need, they're protected, they're fed, they're heated. There's a roof over their head. They don't have to run to anyone else to look for another role model. There's not a better mom out there than my wife for my kids. There's not a better father than me for my kids, and we both stand proud in that because we both didn't have those relationships with our parents that we wish we would have. So, I just think try not to let things out of your control deviate how you feel as a person, and your morals and ethics is just something that I will catch myself struggling with because I want to call black and white. I want to put people in their place, and not everybody is ready to be put in their place. There was a time in my life where I wasn't ready to be put in my place. So I respect and I understand it.
Oh, for sure. I think for me, when it comes to not being in control of life, that's probably one of the biggest things like that I've learned in the last year and a half. Like you really think about the opening up a store, buying a house. Like I did it all within 2 months. And to see like, okay, I had my dream. It came true. I had a shop. I had this. I had that. But that moment, I had to choose behind keeping the shop open or keeping my house because it came down to my wife's in school. I had to pick up kids, drop them off. I had to do this, I had to do that. There was no time to work. There was no one at the shop. Like, you know what I mean? So it was, it was just so spread thin. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, this wasn't the plan. Yeah. This wasn't how this was supposed to go. Like my wife wasn't supposed to go back to school. You know what I mean? This, and this. And instead, and at that moment, like I'm trying to find someone else to blame. Right. Yeah. And the moment I just look at myself and I'm like, at the end of the day, you're a father. At the end of the day, you're a husband. Like sometimes you got to put your stuff on hold for whatever reason. You know what I mean? It is. You got to put your ego to the side. You got to put it on hold, and you got to be the best father that you committed to be, and you got to be the best husband you committed to be, and everything else will work out.
Well, I know for me, there was a moment where I reached out to someone that I look up to a lot, and basically my conversation was, Say, hey man, when I'm getting leads and I'm busy on, let's say Monday, 10 people have called me. They want me to look at their roofs. Things are booming. I'm feeling good. You know, the music is loud. I feel 10 feet tall that day. By Wednesday, no one's called. Wednesday, I have 0 calls, no houses to look at. And I would start to question everything about what I'm doing. Like, am I doing the right thing? Did I say the right thing on Monday to get the deals I need? I would just question my ability.
You're second guessing.
But guess what? I was at home sitting on the couch. I'd go to the gym. I'd play my PS5. So I called him and he said, all right, so tell me a busy day looks like for you. Oh man, I get up, I go to the gym, I pray, kiss my wife goodbye. Boom, boom. I'm on the roof. So I'm killing it. I'm posting on Instagram. And he's like, that's awesome, bro. I'm proud of you. What about the days you're not busy? Are you ready?
It doesn't matter the most.
So I was like, I'm waiting for the next call. But if someone calls, I'm ready. He's like, here's what I want you to do. The same way that you approach the busy day, approach the day that you have nothing going on. Put your boots, put your jeans on, put your polo on. If you notice, a lot of the podcasts, I try to wear polos because I go straight to work. He's like, if you put yourself in a mindset that you're ready for success, you're ready and you're built for adversity every single day, then every day the results will eventually be the same, where you're constantly just ready for anything. So when that call comes, I don't have to go home from the gym, get ready, and then
let me go change.
But it's even getting ready. We're not talking about just putting clothes on. Ready is a mentality. Mm-hmm. Doing this podcast is a mentality. You have to come. I can't wake up and say, oh, it's podcast day. Let me just wing it today. No, I'm coming with some energy. I'm coming knowing that I'm ready to give the audience the best of me. If you have me for an hour, you're getting the best of me for 1 hour. And if you want more, call me because we'll keep it rolling. Like I'm super proud of every day that I have because I know that tomorrow is not guaranteed and today is. So that was great advice that I got from him because preparation and being ready takes away doubt. It takes away reaction. What happens when someone doesn't like you? I don't know. I don't have time to think about that.
I don't,
right? Yeah. But I used to. And I used to say, man, if everyone approved of me, if I had more followers, if everyone liked me, if everyone just knew I was a good guy, okay, well, I wasn't being a good guy. Now I am who I say I am. It's hard to understand. And there are people that say, I don't know how you deal with him. I don't know how you deal with Rob. And thankfully, my brothers say, well, you're not close to him. You don't get to see every side of him that we see. And it's not for everyone. Not everyone's going to get the full version of me. Thankfully, we have the podcast to get some, but on a normal basis, like you said, 5 people, 7 people get to see the best of me every single day. And I'm like this every day. This isn't just for show, you know?
No, for sure. I definitely do 100% agree with you on not everyone gets, probably no one really gets the same version of me, if I'm being honest with you. Like I have different relationships, different contexts with every person, you know, and I've been through some adversity with each person, which I think is, or they give me some advice, or there's, you know what I mean? There's been some breakthrough with them. And yeah, but there's not very many people that get to have this time. 'Cause again, like I'm a husband, father of 5. Like my day is mapped out by hour, unfortunately. And I think the biggest thing I had to learn is whenever things don't go my way or they don't go according to that plan, how do I pivot?
Do you firmly believe that the people you're around is how you will become?
Yes.
Determined?
Yes. And only because I will say this, and I spoke this to you in a text message. After, I believe, the 2nd episode, when you talked about working out and you talked about being here, like you see everyone around you doing it, it's infectious. Like, and I feel for the longest time, and not to ding anybody, but I didn't always have the best people around me that wanted great things for me, you know? But now that my circle's kind of changed a little bit, I mean, I still have some really great people, from 2 years ago, 3 years ago that are really there. They went through everything with me and been like, hey, pick your head up. You're going to be all right, you know? But now I have people around me that want better in fitness. They want better in eating. They want better in spiritual. They want, you know what I mean? And to see the way my life has grown in the last year because I'm around some of those people more often than not, the growth has been tremendous for me. So I will say I am a firm believer, and I'm walking in that your life does change because the people you hang out with, you
let's just take a small example. Like you work at an office, you work somewhere, someone goes to lunch. What's the first thing they ask? Hey, bro, do you want anything from Wendy's?
Yeah. You want to go lunch with me?
You want to go lunch with me? What do you want? Because they're already understanding they're going to go eat something that's not good for them. But if they incorporate other people, now they feel better about it.
Yeah.
So then, and sometimes they'll even ask you like, well, yeah, where do you want to go? I'm down to go wherever you want. As long as you pick it, you pick the bad place, and then I'll go do bad with you. But you're the one that picked the bad place. But they brought it up to you to
so
get
subconsciously they don't feel
right.
They don't feel
right. And then look at the potlucks at offices. People who work.
I'm gonna bring a veggie tray.
They love the potlucks. Potlucks are great. Like who doesn't love a good potluck? But imagine there's that one guy that's in the corner eating his meal prep, and you're like, that's weirdo, dude. There's enchilada, there's pozole. Look at that guy eating his chicken and rice. But guess what? The guy eating the chicken and rice is showing more discipline, and he understands that that's fuel for his body, and he has a plan that he's following versus everyone there is taking a little bit of everything from no one knows who made what, no one knows what ingredients come with it, but they're doing it because everyone's doing it, and it looks like it's the best thing to do. It's the most comforting thing. If you can sit down with somebody, have a spread of food, and it's a way to socialize and gather. I respect it. I understand, but stand outside, like be the person that says, you know what, I'm gonna do a half serving today because I'm gonna go on my walk, on my run, I'm gonna ride my bike, I'm gonna do my whatever class, whatever it is you decide you want to do. You should have that goal for yourself and not let people interfere it just because they're not focused on what they want.
I was at a wedding last year and we all got up to go eat, right? And of course, I mean,
oh yeah, you know,
I went to go eat.
Josh got,
believe it or not, I actually don't eat that much. That's probably why I'm the way I am. But there was a guy in the corner, and he was gonna go get his national bodybuilding stuff in Florida. I don't know what it is, so I'm sorry. But he pulls out a cooler, and he literally was making his food right there: rice, chicken.
That's fine.
And like I remember looking at him, and I was like, "Damn, I wish I had that much discipline." But like now I think about it, I'm like, well, you do have that much discipline. You just don't.
Yeah, you just decide not to do it.
You just don't want it.
Or like, maybe we do it in certain things. Like I know a lot of people will be very disciplined. I don't skip a day at the gym, but then there are other things in their life like church or sometimes I go every once in a while. So you can go to the gym, but you can't go to church.
I was the opposite way. I would never miss church, and
you can plug in anything. And like. They'll invest their time into fantasy football, and they're the best at fantasy football. But when it comes to real life, checking the account, paying the bills, finding out more ways to save more money to take their family on vacation, all of a sudden they don't have any ambition. There's no, I don't know where to start. Hey man, you started a business. I remember people asked me at the cleaning business, what made you start a cleaning business? I said, well, I know toilets are dirty and now I can clean them. So I just thought I could just be a service. Like, such a smart idea. I'm like, not really. I was just willing to work on the weekends, work late nights, and do the crap that nobody wanted to do. And then I go into delivery, bro, logistics, such a smart idea. I'm like, no, it's just you get a truck, you hire some people, they deliver couches, and then you get paid. Like I'm not this guy who thinks these outside of the box things. Like I don't have a skill that I had a talent in, and then I took that talent and created a business. I'm just a service person that understands that there's a need. I'm a hard worker. I'll feel the need.
There's someone out there that needs it.
Right. Look at the roofing. Bro, I went from cleaning toilets to doing roofing and now full construction. How did you learn? Well, trial and error. And then we picked it up a job. Hey, can you guys do this? I think so. Figured it out. You deliver. The product is good. Now you add that niche to your service. Now we do tile work. Oh, dang, I didn't know you guys did it. And yesterday I posted a stairwell we did. I didn't even know we did stairs. We did stairs. I didn't even know. Now that I know, I'm going to tell people, hey, man.
We do stairs.
We do stairs.
I think that's also the thing, too. People are scared to fail. I don't know. I guess my whole life I've been under subpar in school, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just like, screw it. It's my life. It's chaos. Like I live in it. But I also think as much as it sucked to be in those moments, now I look back on it, I'm like, that freaking built me to who I am today.
Yeah.
Like that, like those, like, you know what I mean? Like those are that's the adversity. And I will say adversity, it comes in so many forms and fashions. And I feel I'm the type of person where I could be going through it and I'm just like, all right, we're in it. What are we going to do? Are you going to lay down and be in your bed for 2 days and feel sorry for yourself?
Yeah.
Or are you going to get up and do it? Like,
there was this saying that I used to, I don't want to say live by, but there was this saying that I used to always think about. And it's the one that either you're in a storm is coming, or you just got out of a storm.
mm-hmm.
And I used to always think about that in the last prior years, because when things are going good, I would start to think, at what point does things go bad? And then if things are going bad, oh man, if I just stay in the race, things are going to turn around. I stopped thinking like that, because when my life is going good, and if I'm doing everything that I can to make my life right in my, whatever that means for me, why would things go bad to me? Unless it's health, right? I can't control like the health side of things. But when it comes to life, I'm not waiting for a bad situation for me to see if I'm tough enough to get out of a bad situation. I'm not going to put myself in any bad situation or put myself around any bad people. Now, if something happens, like a car accident, if there's a health issue, I just have to address that issue regardless. But I'm not going to create this self storm and be prepared to go into a bad moment only because I believe that I should be able to come out of it to make me stronger. Even when it comes to work, people say, oh, for roofing, when are you going to have a slow season? Well, I'm never going to have a slow season. Why? Because I've made a business that's created to do multiple things in the slow or off season, instead of worrying about, well, hey, I'll just take the couple months off, and then when things are booming, I'm going to be the man. You can't do that. There's not a light. It's not a light switch. You can't turn and turn off.
Well, not only that, but if it's slow, you can learn how to do something new.
There is no such thing as being slow.
Like it's you're only slow because you chose to be slow.
Yep.
You know,
your polo's not on.
And I think even whenever you are in those storms, like, you learn to gain tools that don't make those storms as long. But whenever you're not in the storm and you're sitting here and you're like, oh, I know one's coming. I'm like, manifestation is real. Like, you manifest that, like, you're putting that out there. And I think you can either put a great prayer out there, and you know what I mean, or you can put, if to talk about it, you could put a bad prayer out there. Like, you're speaking it into existence.
Or you can not pray about it, and then
you're subconsciously it's eating at you, and you're just like, it's coming. I know it's coming.
Yep.
But you really think about it, how terrible of a life is that to live, where everything could be going great, but you're like, just halt, right?
You're living on the edge.
You're living to survive and not to live, right?
And when you live knowing that you're going to heaven, hey, if I'm gone, like if I die tomorrow, please, nobody worry about me. Take care of my wife, my kids, make sure they're okay. But I'm good. I'll be in heaven. Like, I'm fully prepared today to go to heaven. And I can confidently say that. If I die, what I would be disappointed in is I would feel like the job wasn't done as far as me discipling more and helping more people. But at the same time, God already knew when he wanted me. Even if it's 5 episodes of a podcast, at least I have 5 episodes for my children to go back on to show their children, to continue on the legacy that I started to build. And to me, that fires me up. So now I want to get into our next segment, where we go over some Bible verses that we want to give our opinion on, that we like to share with you all. So I'm going to start off in James 1, verse 2-4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. Basically, what I get from that is, still be joyous and the person you are in the good and the bad times. Still be faithful in both seasons, and kind of keep that same mindset, is how I take that.
How I take it is, no matter the good or the bad, you got to be grateful you're going through that situation. You got to have a positive output on it. And I feel like that's probably one of the big, I used to be a why me guy.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'm like, well, why not me?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Put it on the plate. I'll take it. Because there's nothing he didn't give me that I can't handle.
Right.
That's the way I see it, is be grateful you're going through these things.
Yeah.
Because you're learning something from it. Maybe you're learning a new level of yourself that you could push yourself to. That's what I think about it.
Perfect.
We're going to go Proverbs 3, verse 5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding.
Boom. So I think we touched a lot on that already throughout the podcast, but I'm going to trust that I already know God knows how my life and who's going to be involved in my life and the outcome of my life. I'm no longer going to question anything that I deal with. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and understand God's plan for me. So we all say God's plan, but do we understand that we have to be receptive of God's plan, and we also have to be obedient to God's plan? And that's where, when we understand it, it's a lot easier to follow the plan than it is to try to use God's plan and then insert your own when you decide you want to put some audibles in what God already has set for you.
I'm going to go a little bit different. It's same thing. Is instead of trying to understand God's plan and trying to make it your own and like really understand why God is putting you through these things, like stop trying to understand and just live and actually sit back and understand, like, what is this teaching me?
Yeah.
And I feel like those are a lot of things we miss is, what does this teach me? What am I going through right now? What is the lesson out of it? And I have done that last 2 years. And,
same.
you know what I mean? Like,
I've done the same thing.
Stop trying to understand. Stop trying to get understanding out of everything that's going on in your life, because there's battles you're facing that only He knows how to fix.
For sure.
And only that He knows how to get out of. And He's going to guide you along the way. I used to think, oh, look what I did all by myself. Bought a house, did this, did that, opened up a business. Oh, I did it all myself. And now I look at it, I'm like, God, you're not God, but like me. You know what I mean? Like, man, you were so dumb. You know what I mean? Like He did it without you following Him. What can He do whenever you do follow Him? Yeah. Whenever you do live within Him. And I think for me, that's fired me up to be more with Him. Cause it's like, look at everything I've had in my life. Right. I am grateful. I'm blessed, beyond blessed. Yes. I live in the top 1% of the world. Right. And I understand I'm blessed. So it's like, if I have Him by my side and He's my best friend, how much more can I be? And I'm not talking financially or any physical thing. I'm talking about just like in my mind. How much more free can I be? Clear thinker, you know what I mean? Talking to people about God, being a disciple, because that's happened to me a lot lately.
Yeah. And my closing statement on the God part is, someone said, I've seen on social media, said, man, thank God for this, thank God for that. And I said, absolutely, thank God. I said, but do you also invest into God as much as you're thanking Him for putting you in position that you're in? Do you invest the same time into God that He deserves as well? And what I mean by that is, a lot of people will pray when death comes, when tragedy hits, or when they really need a favor. But are you doing the favor ahead of time to be receptive to the favor? And I encourage everybody, if you don't pray, start praying. If you don't have your faith ready where you think it should be, just start. Just go. Yeah. If you haven't been to church in a long time, just go. You don't have to go with me.
Stop thinking about it.
It doesn't matter what church you go to. Just go to church. Get it done. Start that relationship now. The longer you wait, the more the distance is between you and God. Mm-hmm. I pray for you guys, as always.
Always. I'm going to end with this. It was a post I saw this morning. It said, luck didn't bring me here. God did.
God did. Love it.
Again, thank you for everyone for tuning in, all the love, support. We are chosen to change. So are you. Choose that moment.
See you guys next week.